What is going on? I'm Zedmod. There are now 24,000 of you legends on the channel, so thank you very much for all the likes and shares, comments, and in this instance, the follows. Now, speaking of the follows, you gotta follow the breadcrumbs, get over your creator boost, throw code Zedmod in there. It is greatly appreciated. In my video yesterday, I fumbled big time. I did not start 11 upgrades at once. I didn't even clue into the fact that I had to upgrade my armory. Clearly, it has been too long since we had a headquarters update. So, for those of you wondering how the heck I have my gunboat, 8 landing crafts, and armory all upgrading at the same time, from the Boom Pass, you get these build tokens. I used every single one of them at once, and that is ridiculous. And the fact that I didn't do that in my video yesterday, I kicked myself all day yesterday. So we also notice we've got brick upgrading over here. I've got my bunkers at max, did that in the video yesterday, and we are going to start out with the first person to attack since we loaded those bunkers up. Let's just double check that we still have troops in there. Yes, we do. Cryoneers, I feel like, are going to be absolutely clutch in there. I'm considering removing the other troops, but we need to see some results first. Let's see what Armor 21 had to do. We're going to watch it in 1x mode because I am super curious. Don't want to have to go back over it. And no surprise, a tanky walking user getting rid of the shock launcher on the right. Where the heck they're going though, this is a lot bit strange. I'm very curious to see if our bunkers are even going to range this stuff. These sort of attacks just leave me baffled, but maybe they plan that hack, getting rid of that critter launcher on the right. Maybe this is better than I initially thought. We're going to find out here in a second, though. My base is designed to push people towards the left, sorry. Notice I've got that extra boom cannon trying to push people towards that left because I typically hide some sort of doom cannon or something in that back left corner, but alas, at the moment, I am way too lazy. So pushing them towards the left for no good reason. They are coming towards the right. That boom cannon getting some licks in. But the fact that we don't have any building damage means, yep, there we go. There goes a building. And these bunkers still not coming into play yet. So very curious. Probably should fast forward here, but I told you we're going to watch it in 1x mode. So that's what we're doing. I don't ever watch defenses. They're trying to BART out the bunker. Reminder that that bunker does have, I think, 50%. Oh, come on. That's just a complete and utter waste of time. Is our bunker going to do anything? I guess primarily it made them use their GBE. And we're getting some good licks in on those defenses, or those attackers, I should say. And we're definitely taking down more than we would otherwise because they couldn't BART out other things, but this is just boring. This is why I don't watch defenses. Okay, so bunker did absolutely nothing for us. Let's see, that is pre-bunker, I do assume. That is pre-bunk. Hey, that's interesting. I guess that's pre-bunker, but post-update, so that replay does work. This one down here probably will not work. That's the same one. You see, I don't get rated terribly often because we're only at 650 victory points. One of you commented and said, all of you YouTubers down at 650 victory points. Sorry, bud. I'm playing a whole lot of accounts. Don't really care about victory points. For me, it is all about the task force goodness and warship's goodness. Victory points, I've been up around 1,800. Did not enjoy my life as a result of it, so stopped doing that. We're going to quickly fly through the sculptor here. As you can see, we do have all... I wish it would show us how many slots we have available. Does it show that somewhere on the screen? I don't think it does. So now we're going to go back in, get that queue going. I wish it said like right about like here. Like queue slots in use or something like that. Doesn't really matter, but it would be nice to have a reminder that we do have a queue that we could be using. We're going to add that to queue. I wish it also added things to queue by default, but you can't wish for all the things. Quick note, I did mention that I think it's Tim Nacky Legends reference at the beginning of the video. If you're on Instagram, do go give him a follow. Quick note that in this wonderful, wonderful submarine, there are crystals back in the submarine. That was a bug for a long, long time. We've got crystals back in the sub. Also, a quick note, I didn't mention that the Task Force Intel bank has gotten expanded even more. Also, one other note that resource bases, let's go find us a resource base. That is not a resource base. Can we take a resource base? There must be a resource base I don't own. Right about there. Mustang Ranges resource base. Resource bases, even though I've got this thing at the shore, we can no longer trade it to get our supply chests, which is a bit unfortunate, but them is the breaks. And so on the other side, at least one person was very, very, very sad because all of their resource bases got taken just before the update, and they lost 5 victory points as a result, and they have no possible way of getting those back. Very, very much an edge case, but I feel for you. So, one of my favorite things about this update was, you guys all correcting me in the comments saying, dude, you forgot to upgrade your armory. Also, seeing all the feedback as you guys discovered new things about it that I had forgotten. So, just a reminder, I have the best followers in all of YouTube. Do check the comments down below. 80% of them are going to be super, super informative. They're going to add details. The other 10% are going to be people giving funny comments or ridiculous things. And the final 12% are going to be people commenting, making corrections on my stupid, stupid mistakes. Anyways, we have got to spend some diamonds, unfortunately. I need to do an operation attack here. We got 5 hours left. If I had all the time in the world, I would wait that 4 hours so I could double dip. For those of you who don't know what double dip is, it is the bane of all task forces. It is the worst thing you can possibly do. It means you use all of your powder. You use 12 powder, you boost up, and then you use it on 2 operations. It puts a giant logjam at the end of a task force. It is less than ideal for the task force, but it's the best thing for you because you save some powder. So you need to balance that. Maybe do it once or twice a week. I am going to not double dip right now. Let's have a look at Boom Town. Boom Town, only 1 shield gen on that left-hand side. So sending Scorchers and getting that, you could maybe burn that. I personally don't like attacking Boom Town. Not a big fan of Scorchers and operation attacks. They work well. I don't tend to use them. We could, no shield gen at the shore on Green Court, only that one there, so we could go do some hacking and clear those 3 and then get those more. You know what, I think that's what we're gonna do. That is what we shall do. I think probably hacking, not the ideal way to go about it. Bullet would probably be better, but I'm gonna do some sort of a combo attack, set this left side up for somebody. But first, we need to spend some diamonds. Don't care about that gunboat. 1 extra GBE, not the biggest of deals. We're going to leave 1 boat of bombardiers. We're going to get you diamonded. But gosh, you know what? That's way cheaper than I thought it was going to be. So we're going to get that Zuka loaded. We are going to get that loaded. And by the way, quick note, if you're going to upgrade your landing crafts and you want to do 8 at once, it would have been smart to load Zukas before doing any of this. Then I don't have to spend these 72 diamonds, especially having instant training. It was extra dumb on my part. So definitely not going to use that blue, whatever that's called, blueprint, there we go, to get this done, but definitely should consider it for things like the armory, which have a little bit more, but still, I find the diamond costs are lower than I expected them to be. Maybe that's because I waited so gosh darn long, but what shall we do? We're gonna keep finishing these puppies off. Have you ever seen someone finish off 8 landing crafts at once? I don't think so. I think this is the first time that could have been possible. Just a silly thing to do. Quick note that I did mention to Supercell, I think they should give away one of those building tokens. I had a bunch of you ask how you even use them, where they come from, and of course they do come from the Boom Pass. There is one, come on, scrolling back, 2, yes, you guys can all count, 3, I'm gonna guess 5, 4, and 4 from this one, at least 4 from the previous one, because we have 11 upgrades going at once. I am not gonna diamond brick, but again, not all that expensive, but I am cutting into all of my diamonds that I could use on warships on all of those negative nodes. Can we look at... No, we can't. Okay, so you guys all saw in the sneak peek the good things about warships that have been changed, making things a little bit more obvious. We have Everspark loaded. I am going to click that button right there to boost all statues. You guys haven't complained about that in a little bit. Are you happy with that now? I am. A bunch of you were not happy with it at all. We just got some progress. It just flashed, but I guess it didn't pop that new thingy-majigger up. Let's reload all of our troops. We've got all of our statues boosted. Do we have the ability to upgrade our sculptor? I don't think so. I would feel really dumb right now if I just started 3 statues in my queue and there's a new level of the sculptor. Again, it's been a minute since we had an headquarters update. I wonder if I've got one of those, do I have one of those? I've got attack plans, so I definitely could diamond finish this and then start a Zuka upgrade, but I don't think that's required. I'm going to save some of my diamonds for later. I know I could use a blueprint, but I don't want to get, and this is something a bunch of you have said, is you don't, I mean, as much as you could upgrade all of the things at once, that's not all that much fun. So you'll notice that, oh shoot, you stupid fat finger. Drop some Zukas. Definitely did not intend to do that. That's just going to make our troops a little bit weaker, but at least we've got Everspark over where we want her to be. And now I'm going to flare her all the way back. We have not yet triggered those lasers, so we should be still doing okay. We are going to double hack eventually once she gets back into position. I think she's going to double hack. Yep, she's definitely going to double hack. Uh-oh. There it goes. Double hack out. Houdini smoke. Getting all sorts of goodness, but Everspark... Oh, gosh, that was close. Okay, so now, next up, what I am going to do is I'm going to drop this over in here, getting those yellow critters to distract those lasers for half a second. And now, you know what? Let's get one more hack. Let's get a smoke on top of Everspark and throw one more hack, getting this rocket launcher as well. Those yellow critters, do not sleep on them. They do great things. They distract defenses. You just need to throw them far enough away that they will land and then start running towards your troops, and then down goes that rocket launcher. Definitely not the plan that I had laid out for myself, but we should still be okay. Now, we have got enough GBE to get a couple flares out. That is going to be very, very good. Getting our Zukas over, waiting for them to flatten out, need them to flatten out in a big, big way, and then walking underneath the mortars. Playing a little bit of limbo here. This is a dangerous, dangerous game, but as you can see here, missing all of the mortars and then throwing that final flare out. Zukas will spread out. We're going to lose a couple of them, but overall, sitting in the blind spots of all of those mortars. Hey, this is actually going a little bit better than I anticipated. I had planned to smoke our Zukas back here, but don't need to do that, so getting all sorts of value here, and now we just need to make gosh darn sure we don't eat all those cells, because the core hitter is going to need them because of these extra rockets down here, and it's going to be a beastly core hit. But I think that we've got enough players that should be able to pull that puppy off. And by the way, for those of you who saw the operation attack that I shared with Sven the other day, he was in a different task force and they were like, hey, are you Sven from the Anon Moose video? Which I think is awesome. I have been recognized a couple times joining different task forces, but to have someone else recognized was sort of neat. I am just going to keep flaring all of my troops in, trying to get a little bit more gunboat energy. And now I'd really like to clear one of those rocket launchers, but I don't think I have enough GBE to do it. First, we need to let that flare expire, and now just trying to think on our feet here of what the heck we can do. Man, that Everspark, the fact that she just kept living, that was fantastic. I think we are gonna get one smoke here, and we're just gonna watch all our troops die here. Getting all of our troops here. I am gonna flare. Look at how much GBE. I can't even flare. We're just gonna watch all of our Zookas die, and I guess we're going to watch if we're actually gonna say we're gonna watch. Didn't have enough GBE to both flare and throw that shock, so it was one or the other. Might as well throw the flare, watch them all get wrecked, and now Green Court is ready for the core hit. We're gonna change the note. As always, do let me know what you thought about that hit, what else I have missed on this update. I think I need to move my bunkers towards the front. That is going to be what I'm going to do first and foremost, I do suppose. You'll notice that my base is somewhat symmetrical. I mentioned it earlier, I have this extra boom cannon over here to push people to that back left. Oh, quick note also, this is important. These bunkers, my assumption is they're treated like supply buildings, because you can't shock an iron storage, you can't slow down an iron storage. Same thing with the bunker, but we can actually hide this bunker if we put it back in there. Notice that the trees do not become transparent, so if you're one of those players trying to be super sneaky, you could hide your bunkers back behind trees. I am not going to do that because we definitely want them to get some play, putting them up front so we can see what the heck they're going to do. And I am going to see what we've got back here, a hot pot. That is not ideal. Definitely gonna save that hot pot. I was hoping I could throw a doom cannon back in that corner or something, but we don't want people to skip us. We want them to attack us, so I am gonna keep those prototype parts away. We're gonna see how these bunkers do. If you've had success with bunkers, do let me know. Also, do check out Global number 4, Global number 5, they both have max level bunkers, and sadly we can't see what's inside of them. Do you think we should be able to click on a bunker and see what's inside? Also note that it shows a range for that bunker. But notice the bunker range is slightly different. Does that mean that this one's got a bombardier or a grenadier inside, and this one's got a Zuka or something? Little bit of detective work perhaps could help us there, but definitely curious to hear what you guys have had for success, how you're working with that bunker, and what you've got inside and why it's a Cryoneer. Also notice we talked about that 40% air defense. I have no idea if it's working. That has not been something I've been able to test. Quick note as well that the friendly challenges, the bunker does not work fully because it just has level 1 troops. I assume that's why we don't have friendly challenges in warships, because your boosts aren't passed along. Anyways, weird video today, kind of an addendum or an appendix to yesterday's video. We are going to finish off that. We are going to load those with Zukas. Quick note, you'll notice now that we can get 15 Zukas, 5 Grenadiers, 10 Laser Rangers. There is all sorts of goodness. Also 10 Warriors. Very curious to see if with 30 of the riflemen, and at what point do Zukas start to leak out of that smoke? Is it now? I don't actually, you know what, let's go back here and have a look. Notice that we had 105 Zukas. Neat things that I did not touch on yesterday as well. Someone said, oh yay, a new rifleman. No, there are all sorts of new troops added to this landing craft. Level 26 is a big deal on the landing craft front. I shall talk to you soon. Thank you for coming in, liking, sharing, subscribing, telling your aunt to watch. More importantly, throwing code ZMOD in that creator boost, and commenting. Comments make the world go round. Do keep those missions rocking and rolling. So much intel there. I am gonna pin everything except for this one right here. That dives thing is not going away, and we can't skip them yet. So that is all for me. Thanks for coming in. I'm Zedmot. Update day. Oh, I almost forgot. Almost forgot. This is going to be an unpopular comment. This is going to be unpopular among some. Barbed wire has been fixed? Question mark. Sorry, quick pause there as I went through Discord and Telegram and all the rest of things, checking to see if it's been addressed yet. Barbed wire is back to doing damage to troops. For when barbed wire first came out, it did damage to troops, then it got nerfed. Now, was that a bug? No one knows. It was one of those things that just happened and it wasn't discussed, I don't believe. It is back to damaging your troops. You're probably going to have to use a med kit at some point, especially if you don't walk in a straight line. So for those of you who don't know anything about barbed wire, you have to walk in a straight line or bad things will happen to your troops. And that straight line has to be perpendicular to the barbed wire. Just like riding your bike across wet, slippery routes. That's a reach. Anyways, so barbed wire is back. It's great. It is making duplexity harder. It is making forlorn hope harder, like it was intended to do. Barbed wire last week, you could just walk through it, and sure, it slowed your troops a bit, but now it's actually doing damage. So really good news. I think that might be an unpopular opinion, though. That is the end. Thank you for coming in. No more rambling. I'm Zedmont. Thanks for coming in. Peace.